Hello, hello. I think I am live. It says I am live, so hopefully I wait for some people to pop on in here. But welcome. Today is Sunday, and I hope everybody is doing well. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Let me know as you are popping in if you can hear me, and if you can hear me okay on this Sunday. We did have a lovely time change today. Hello, John. Can you hear me okay, John? Just let me know if you can hear me. It's always weird when I first get these things started to see if I can, if people can hear me or not. All right. Hello, Renee. Hello, John. I hope you are both doing well on this lovely time change Sunday, where we lost an hour of sleep overnight. It's always fun. Can you hear also, just questioning, there's supposed to be a little background music. I can't hear it on my end, but can you hear it on your end? And if you can, it's okay. Just let me know if you can hear something noise-wise, like a background music. Hello, Felicia. Hope you're doing well today. Hope everybody's doing well today. Okay. All right. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Felicia. So like I said, welcome. Thank you for popping in today. This is the fourth one of these. We got some topics. I have actually some products that I want to talk about also. Hello, Black Widow. Thank you for popping in, friend. Hello, Robert. Hope you're doing well today, Robert. Hope you're feeling better every day by day, a little bit better. So I have some products that I want to go over that I actually use. I have some topics. There's a couple of questions, some cat news around the world too. There's a couple like new little things I want to test out in today's live just to kind of see how they go. Hello, Tranquil. Hello, Sable. Hope you're all doing well today on this Sunday. How does everybody feel about that time change? I don't like it myself necessarily too much, but at least it's only one day. It's a nice sunny day out here in North Carolina. Hopefully everybody's doing well where you live. Hopefully that time change didn't bother you too much. Of course, I got our pictures here. The sooner that you realize cats own everything, the happier that you will be. And there's lots of cats and lots of boxes. As I was saying a little earlier, I do have a couple of kind of like new segments that I want to try, test out. There'll still be cat topics. There'll still be some cat shout out channels. But there's a few new things that I want to kind of test to see how they do today. So we will see how that goes. Oh, Robert, we're by, you may not know the town. We're in a much smaller town called Zebulon. But it's a town that's about, maybe 25 miles kind of southeast of Raleigh. I'm sure you know Raleigh, probably Raleigh, North Carolina, but we're in a smaller town called Zebulon, NC. It's a good town, but it's a small town. Black Widow and Renee, I just want to congratulate both of you because I know you have both recently passed that 3K mark. So you're on your way to your 4K. So hopefully both of you within the next maybe month to 6 weeks, you will fully get into that program. But I just wanted to congratulate both of you getting into that tier, into that part. Hello, Sweeties Cat World. Thanks for popping in, friend. Glad to see you. I'm gonna turn you into a monitor so you can connect with other channels if you so desire. But I do appreciate you popping in. So thank you. Florence area, yeah, Robert. So, my wife and I, we've driven down to like Georgia and not Georgia, Myrtle Beach. We've driven down to Myrtle Beach a few times in South Carolina, and we go through the Florence area. And for many years, we used to go down to Myrtle Beach, and there was always a bunch of cats at this rest stop with the border between South and North Carolina. And it was like a colony. Let me make myself a little bigger here. It was like a colony of cats, and we would see them for years. Uh, the last couple times we went down there, though, they were gone. So I don't know if maybe they were, I don't know, disposed of. I hate to say that, but or maybe they found some homes or something. But there was a bunch of cats down in that border at one point in time. Hello, burrito. Hello. And I tried to, let me see if I can get your name correct. And you let me know in the chat. Wham. Hopefully it's Wham, and I appreciate you popping in, friend. If it is, hopefully that's correct. We will see. And also, Sweetie's Cat World. That was a bit close. Wham. I tried. I'm not the best with names, so just bear with me. Just bear with me. I will get it correct. Oh, and I was gonna say, Sweetie the cat. If you want to say your name like in chat, just so everybody knows like your name, you can, but you don't have to. I just like to know everybody's name because I feel like you have a little bit of a deeper connection, getting to know people's name. Alice. Okay, nice to meet you, Alice. Officially, my name's Adam. Nice to meet you, Alice. I need to looks like shave here a little bit myself here. I got my whiskers growing a bit long. I gotta shave here. Got a couple of rosemary scratches too. I got let me see if I can. Yeah, right there. There's a couple of like rosemary scratches. She's a good kitty, but she's got some daggers, I tell you. She's got some daggers. All right, I'm going to give a few more minutes to see if some more people pop in, and then I will get this show on the road. Like I said, if you're new to this, normally we go over some cat channels. We go over cat advice, cat questions, cat topics, and there are a couple of new pieces of this that I want to kind of try out and see how they do. I think one is going to be really fun, and the other ones are like, we'll see. We'll see how they do. Yeah, Renee, I don't think my whiskers can get quite as long as they as my cats. I don't think my wife would allow that, to be honest with you. But you never know. You never know. Those who just popped into the chat recently, popped into live the last couple of minutes, how you liking the time change? Are you a fan of the time change? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you not care? I grew up in Arizona, and one of the nice things about living in Arizona, actually, it was one of the few states where we don't have time changes. So year round, it was always the same. We never, went back an hour. We never went up an hour. It was the same year round in Arizona. But since we moved to North Carolina, obviously that changed. Yeah, BW, we got to get used to the having that more sun again. Got to get used to that again. You get used to the it being dark at like 5 o'clock at night. Now it's gonna be like 6-7 o'clock again. Let me just kind of put what people are saying here too. So Black Widow, she loves the evening, that longer evening for sure. John likes the longer sunshine in the evenings. Renee, definitely not a fan of moving the clocks, period. You wish it was DST all the time. Tranquil. Wait a second. Tranquil. Every day is the same to me. And then Renee, there are 24 states now with legislation trying to get it. Yeah, there's like a what was it, like the Sunshine Act? I think it is. They were trying to do something with that the last couple of years in Congress, but it's Congress, so don't expect anything anytime soon. If you're waiting for Congress, then you're going to be waiting for a lifetime. Okay, I'm gonna get going here. Let's get my slides on fully. So as we all know, kitties realize, cats they own everything. So the sooner you know that, the happier that you will be. My philosophy, at least. Here, I got a few did you knows. Now, hopefully these are not too small on the screen. I'm gonna read them regardless if they are too small. But just a few interesting things. So, of all of the cat senses, its hearing is the strongest of all, and they have hearing that's about 4 times better. I don't like the way I wrote this, but the hearing is 4 times as better um, than us humans, which is quite something. And that's just only their hearing. Cats are really, I would say, actually, and I'm going to make that bigger in a second. But cats are really, as far as their senses go, I mean, they're really supreme almost with everything over really any other animal. Their hearing, their sight, their smell. It's really quite amazing how well cats do when it comes to their senses. It's quite amazing. So just a little something, a little interesting little tidbit I like to kind of start these with. I'm just going to kind of keep up with chat here just to make sure you know what chat's talking about. So John, working outside is actually means something for daylight hours. Yeah, so you're not in the dark, right? And at any time, those especially that are new to this, is any time that you want to stop or you have a question in the chat, feel free to, because this is technically my live, but it's really our live. So what I like to do with these is have a discussion with chat. So I do have some planned stuff, but sometimes we kind of get off topic. As long as it's cat related, for the most part, that's perfectly fine with me. So another little interesting little tidbit I thought, which kind of gross actually when you think about it. Hello, Raf. Sorry there. Hello, Raf. Hope you're doing well today. What do you think about the time change, Raf? Are you for it or are you against it? And let me get on to the second one here. So I think this may be my issue, this second one on this list here. If you absolutely love cats all of a sudden, you might be infected with toxoplasmosis, a parasite through cat poop that can spread to humans and make them care more about cats. Now, I don't know if that's a real thing or not. I don't know if this is like a joke one that I put in, or if this is something that's real. I have no idea. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Let me see, what was Raf? Raf is all for that daylight savings change. He's all for that time change. Cool. So I thought that was kind of a weird one, but hey, I don't know. Kind of odd. So I thought that was kind of odd. What do y'all think in chat? Do you think that's actually real? I mean, I found it, but I mean, is it real though? It's a parasite that's spread through cat poop that can spread to humans and make them care more about cats. And if it is, then, the world needs a lot more of that. We need to care more about our kitties, and we need to advocate more for them. I'll always say that. All right. Yeah, so BW, I think if you're just talking about pregnant women doing cat litter, yes, that is dangerous for them because it can lead complications for them, and it can lead complications for their unborn child too. Let me see, John. I'm fine with changing the clock. Just have to change my working hours. It's all good because I couldn't change other folks with me. BW saying it's a real thing. And Renee is a real thing. I don't know about the caring for cats more part, but that's the thing that's supposed to affect women, pregnant women and cats. Yep. And BW, pregnant women should never clean a cat's box or a bat box. All right. So that was kind of an interesting one. Now, the third one, cats have reportedly played a hand in the extinction of 63 species of birds, mammals, and reptiles. Now, I do love me some cats, as you all know, and this is all about cats. This little 2-hour live or so, but there definitely is a thing to say that and actually, I was reading. It was in. This is kind of interesting. I'm gonna make it like here so you can still read that, but there's some legislation in Poland, I think, where they're trying to put cats as a invasive species, which I thought was kind of interesting. I don't know if anybody else heard about that or not. And it might just be more than Poland. I don't know. It might be different countries that are in Europe, but they're trying to put the cats on the invasive species list because of obviously how they can kind of wreck the ecosystem a little bit with especially the birds. I'm not sure. I guess mammals, maybe they're talking about like mice and rats and stuff like that, reptiles, snakes and lizards, that kind of thing. But I thought that was interesting, that they've potentially played a bit of a hand in the extinction of all those potential species. I just thought that was kind of an interesting thing. So that was kind of news to me. I'll give a few moments. I'll see if you think anything about as far as that goes. Tranquil adding that her outside cats maybe kill rats all the time. Okay. Alice, I haven't heard anything on that before. Yeah, me neither, Alice. It was interesting just doing a little bit of research today on some of these topics we're going to kind of discuss a little bit here in a bit. And then Tranquil thinks that that's a good thing. Hello, Bert. Hope you're doing well, friend. Bert, just reading some interesting cat facts or cat did you knows. So some of these, Bert, you might have heard of, some of them not, but you might find especially that second one interesting, Bert, if you take a gander at that one. And just rounding up these, the last one that I put for today was that cats have thumbs. Now, they don't technically have thumbs, but I'm sure, and I can't think of the name, there's a term for it, and I want to say it starts with the letter P, pedactyl, pterodactyl, I can't think of the name right now, but it's where they have that extra toe. So they have the 4, right? Always got to mess up the mirror. And then like that 5th one is kind of their thumb, but it's just that extra toe that some cats have. Let's see. Just want to see what's going on with the chat here. Renee I wonder if bugs count for anything on that list. Lucy is the reason I don't have bugs in my house. She hunts them relentlessly. Renee, it could be. That could be a thing. But who likes bugs though, right? Tranquil, no worries about your typing. You have a lot of cat interference. I think some can understand that completely. They want to be all over you when you're trying to type. John, extinction is a volatile subject. There have been mass extinctions long before cats, but yes, they are definitely hunters. And that's I have like a little news article, a little headline that I'm going to get to as far as cats being hunters in actually a little bit. And Renee, you got we have polydactyl. Polydactyl. I know it started with a P. Um, Alice Hemingway cats. Is that with the extra toe? I was gonna ask, did anybody have any polydactyl cats? And I know John, before you mentioned that you do have one that has those extra toes. Um, I think it's just like from what I'm trying to remember, I think it's just like a genetic, not deform, but just like it's a genetic abnormality. I think it just just like the genes get crossed a little bit and it just happens. Let's see what Alice is saying. The writer Ernest Hemingway was known for having cats like this. Really? I did not know that, Alice. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Thank you for letting us know, Alice. BW, your stepson has several polydactyl cats. Nice. I have never had one. And I'd have to think. I'm sure I probably encountered one before, but we've never had one though. Let's see. Renee, Ernest Hemingway was known for having polydactyl cats. Okay. And Bert just congratulating Black Widow and Renee for that 3K and onwards to 4K. Absolutely, Bert. Absolutely. Okay. Let's take this off. Here are the few little headlines we can talk for a few minutes about. These were a few interesting headlines, I thought. And I'm like, let me type these in. Or actually, I cheated. Let me just copy and paste them. Lazy way of doing that. The first one, when we were kind of talking about cats being hunters, right, John? There's a study here that cats, they were given vegan diets and that they have better health outcomes than those who eat like normal, meat, right? So I thought this was kind of an interesting headline, and I'm like, let me bring this up in this discussion and see what people think about it. So in chat, what do y'all think about cats having or being given vegan diets? Now, I can tell you a little bit about the study. It was a study that was done over in Europe, and they did about 1,000 cats and their cat parents, and 900 of them were just being given like the normal cat diet, like either dry food, wet food, but meat based, right? Where it's meat based only, not only, but it's meat based that's on there. And then the other 100 were given vegan only, so no meat, absolutely no meat at all in their diets of any kind, whether that's poultry, chicken, fish, seafood, nothing. It was just all vegan related. So plant-based, vegetables. I am not an expert on vegan stuff, so I don't know what everything is vegan wise, but that they were just given vegan food. So what do y'all think about that? I think it was kind of interesting, but I'm not sure if I agree with cats only given vegan diets, or dogs, to be frank with you, only given vegan food. I think they need meat. The same with like vegan humans. I think humans need meat. Let's see what people are starting to say. Bert, I don't know about vegan cats or dogs. I would feel bad for them. I feel bad for vegan humans, to be honest with you. Renee, I think it's a fad. If people choose to eat that way, fine, but a cat has instincts and they need those amino acids associated with the meat. I totally agree with you, Renee. Raf, chicken and fish are fine, but I don't know about vegetation. Alice, not sure. They are hunters and they like to eat what they are hunted. BW is good with cats being cats. They like the meat. I agree. Hello, Nick. Thanks for popping in, friend. Nick, just joining us. We are. There was a study recently where cats were given vegan diets, and they supposedly had better health outcomes than those who were given, like normal cat diets of meat, stuff like that. So, interesting. I just wanted to kind of get everybody's opinion on that. Let me get back up here. John doesn't believe it for a moment. A cat is a carnivore. There's something that's not being said. Very well, John. It very well could be. What's Bert saying? Rocky heard. He's not looking at me. Don't get any silly ideas. No vegan, Rocky. You're gonna get meat. Burrito. I would prefer giving him meat. And let's see. Okay, and then everybody's just welcoming Nick into the stream. All right, good deal. So I thought that was kind of an interesting one. I personally, like, my thought is I don't think that cats should be given. Let me put it this way: I don't think cats should be given a vegan only diet. Maybe parts, but then again, I don't know. I mean, I think cats definitely, they need, like Renee was saying, those amino acids, the nutrients. I mean, I don't even think humans should be vegan, to be honest with you. I don't think you can be healthy as a human and not getting certain things into your diet. But I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. That's just me. But I'm not one of those like crazy anti-vegan folks either. You have to eat meats. But I don't know. Anyways, go on to the second one here. This one is kind of a two-part one. Headline: Hello, Veronica. Thanks for popping in, friend. Let's see what Nick was saying. Hello, Judy. Thank you for popping in too, Judy. Judy, we are talking about Judy and Veronica. We have different headlines across the country, across the world, I mean. And we were just talking about, should cats be given vegan diets? I personally don't think that they should. But, it was an interesting study. So let me see what Nick was saying. Once before, I tried sneaking some veggies in with my previous cat's food, and they stared at me with an attitude so hard, I thought they were going to jump up and smack the paw out of me. Nice. Nice, Nick. Let me scroll up a little bit here, just so I'm not missing anybody or missing anything. Tranquil, I haven't had red meat. Okay, but Tranquil, though, that's just meat, but do you eat chicken or do you eat seafood? I'm sure you eat some kind of protein, right? Just let me know in the chat. And then Nick is, since then, I've only given my animals, cats and dogs, meat only, and actually I make a dog and cat food. Nick, that probably... Yeah, I might have to get with you sometime and kind of ask, like, that, because that's kind of interesting, because we talked about diet a few weeks ago. You might have some ideas, being, cooking and baking, kind of knowing that world, obviously a lot better than I, and probably better than most of us on here. So that could be interesting to see, some potential recipes for us on that later, Nick. Maybe in one of your lives also that you'll be doing. So that'd be interesting. All right. Let's see. Tranquil, the healthiest person that you know. Cool. Tranquil, you eat fish. Okay, so you have some kind of protein occasionally. Okay. All right. Bert, I dropped a piece of broccoli on the floor. Billy ate it. Rocky sniffed and sneezed. He sneezed when he's irritated. Okay. I don't eat broccoli. I will say I do not eat broccoli. That's just me. Let's see. Black Widow, my cats would eat some grass if they want it. Yeah, and that's another topic, but we can talk about that a little bit later. BW, you make your own dog food. It is cheaper and it doesn't have all the fillers. Nick, your cat's a country like you. Okay, and everybody's saying hello. Okay, so let me get on to the next one. Take that comment off for a second. So this one, like I said, this is kind of like a two part here. Cats given anti-COVID pills after thousands die from feline virus. Now, the COVID thing is kind of interesting because with this one in particular, there is kind of like a COVID thing for for cats and for dogs. They kind of have like their own virus, their own version of it, if you will. The first thing I wanted to say though about that was a couple of years ago and this is kind of straying off topic somewhat, but not really. A few years ago when COVID was really, rampant and people were very scared and people were very worried and people were wondering like what to do. Over in the UK, the people in power, the people in charge, they thought for a time that cats and dogs might be like a spreader of COVID. So they were contemplating, it never went into public, and it's only been found out the last like a year or so, but they were contemplating of exterminating the majority of cats. I don't know about dogs also, but the majority of cats in the UK because they thought that they could be spreading COVID to humans. Now, thankfully, that never happened. And it was, just misinformation, like a lot of COVID stuff. And like I said, I'm not getting too much into COVID here. I'm just trying to keep it cat related. But there was just a lot of misinformation about that particular situation. But thankfully, that never happened. But they were, at one point in time, they were definitely thinking about, um, possibly exterminating a lot of cats because they thought there was some kind of a connection between cats and COVID and COVID being passed on to humans. So, I mean, if you're interested in it, I would check it out sometime. If you're interested in knowing more, you could put in something like, I don't know, cats and COVIDs in the UK or something like that. If you're interested in knowing a little bit more. But anyways, so it just kind of leads onto this article here. The cats are given anti-COVID pills after thousands die from feline virus. Now, I don't think that that's necessary to give cats anti-COVID pills. I mean, I don't know what y'all think in the chat. Just my own personal opinion. I don't think that's necessary. So let me see. Veronica saying they are crazy. I'm assuming we're talking about like the government out in the UK. See what Renee is saying. Sorry, I called BS on that. I got only my 2 initial C19 shots because I had to for work. Yeah, same with me, Renee, back in the day. It was mandatory. I didn't have a choice in it. Thankfully, they stopped requiring it, and I never got another one. Yeah, Renee, me too. I only got the ones that were required, and then after that, like the boosters and things like that, I never got anything. But like I said, this isn't I don't want to turn this into a COVID show. Especially with YouTube. Keep it cat related, obviously, but I just thought that was kind of an interesting little study. Let's see what Bert is. Can't wait to not be a teacher anymore, where I can speak up a little bit more freely on said subjects, like this one presented here. Yeah, it's a touchy subject somewhat. John, I live in the countryside. Barely nothing changes. I think I wore a mask maybe 5 times. All the science remedies aren't necessarily based on science. Oh yeah. Like I said, I don't want to get too much into COVID. I want to keep this cat centered, obviously, but I just thought that was interesting. So the last thing I'll say on COVID, I mean, there was definitely some maybe mismanagement of it overall, and I think locking everybody down and locking everybody up, if you will, was probably not necessary, especially after a lot of new information was found that it didn't do anything. Now, to try to protect those who are really elderly or really sick, it makes sense, or those who have diseases like they're immunocompromised, that makes sense. But people that are healthy, I don't know, but anyways, I don't want to. That's my very short COVID talk, and I'm gonna stop saying anything else on COVID. Okay, this last little headline across the world. Now, this took place in Russia because I read this a little earlier today, actually. when I was kind of doing some of these things. A poor kitty, was thrown off a train. The conductor thought that this cat was a stray cat and decided, for whatever reason, to throw this cat off of a train. And in cold weather in Russia, this time of the year, because this took place in January, and that obviously you can read the rest of it now, thousands want the conductor to lose her job. It's like, wow, really? This is what I talk about still. I mean, even though we live in the, 2024, and cats have it a lot better now for the most part than, a couple hundred years ago, like they're in the Middle Ages, still you see things like this and it just breaks your heart that somebody threw a pet cat, because they thought it was a stray, off a train. And there were hundreds, if not, I think thousands of people. They formed a search party trying to find this cat, and eventually they did find the cat, and the cat passed away because of the cold weather. Because it doesn't take much for cats to pass on in cold weather, because they need warmer temperatures. I mean, they have, their body temperature is higher than us. So I just, sometimes this will be a little sad, sometimes it'll be a little inspirational. I'm gonna kind of like, flip it from time to time, different type of topics, or different kind of headlines, I should say. But I just thought that was like really, really, I don't know. I just thought that was very unfortunate, and the person is still working at the moment, so they haven't lost their job, and they probably won't, more than likely. Not to say anything against Russia, but I don't think anything will happen. Let me kind of see what people are saying here. Hello, NPP. Thanks for popping in, friend. Hope you're doing well. Bert, entertainment, educational purposes also. So a little mixture there, Bert, with both. Judy, she should lose her job. I completely agree. John, and people say cats are the problem. Yeah, John. So like, people and their lack of education or their lack of empathy is the problem, and that goes with cats, that goes with dogs, that goes with people being, unempathetic for other people. Empathy seems like it's a lost thing on a lot of people nowadays, unfortunately. It's quite sad. Tranquil, the more I know about people, the more I like cats. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there, Tranquil. Let's see if anybody else is saying anything. Nope, everybody's just saying hello to NPP, who just popped into the show. Let's see. Okay. So again, like I said, I just thought that was, I don't know, kind of a sad one. But if you ever see a headline and maybe you're like reading the news or something, you're like reading some kind of article and it is cat related, then feel free to email me. And I'm going to put my email again up here. If I can remember my email. Give me a second. Let me remember what my email is. Just give me 2 seconds here, because I'm not exactly sure what my email is, and I don't want to put in the wrong information here. But if you're ever reading an article, you're reading a news story, and it's something to do with cats, and you want to share it with the group, then absolutely feel free to. And just email it to this, and I'm also, let me put it in here. Yeah, and I'll just pin that up on the top. Okay, so that's up on the top now. All right, let's see what people are saying. Bert, people are the main problem with all types of situations. I am an empath and don't like going out because I feel a lot of rooms as dead or negative. Love has left the buildings. Yeah, I agree with you there, Bert. Looks like Tranquil also agrees with you. All right, so let's send some headlines. And like I said, this will change from week to week. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with this. I might. This is something I'm just kind of testing out, see how it goes, kind of thing. Okay, before I get to this, I wanted to talk, before I got to this cat topic, I wanted to just talk about a few pet products, actually. As some of you might remember, I did say that I was starting to brush Rosemary's Teeth. Hello, Corner Clubhouse Cobalt, or CCC. Thanks for popping in, friend. I wanted to, and this is going to be for dogs or cats. So, our vet recommended, and this is obviously not a plug or not a paid sponsorship or anything, nothing like that. But we've been using this, and I'm going to kind of get it up here a little bit. I'm not using this toothbrush because there's really no point in using this toothbrush, but I've been using this toothpaste, and I know Megan. Oh, and also I want to talk about Megan in a second. But this is a very good toothpaste. This is a chicken flavor, poultry. Yeah, so poultry chicken flavor. And instead of using the toothbrush that it comes with, I've been using these little cute little finger brushes, and this is what works for me and what works for Rosemary. So I don't know if anybody brushes or attempts to brush their dogs or cats' teeth. I would definitely try this. This works. It could be maybe 2 people. It looks like Raph, you tried those too. Do you have any success, Raph, with using this with Alice and Pearl Jam? So I would definitely try that. This looks like a torture device. Does it, Bert? I mean, it's soft. Believe me, it's soft. Oh yeah, Raph, it's definitely hard to. I'm with you there. It is hard to be consistent too. I would definitely say you want to start early, not when a cat's like 17 years old. But give it a try, and I can definitely do a review on that product sometime. I can definitely do that. Yeah, can do. Yeah, that's John. That's Rosemary. She's at her door because her belly is aching because it's almost 5 o'clock, and that's normally when she gets her first dinner. So she gets fed at 5 o'clock, her first dinner, then she gets fed at 9 o'clock also. Yeah, I'm sorry, it was too, yeah, so. Yeah. But anyways, that's it. Another product, real quickly, I'm not sponsored by any of these, but this is something, if you have an older cat and let's say they have an issue maybe with some litter on their behind. Oh yeah, Renee. Yeah, this is family only. This is for cats' mouths, not other places of people's bodies. That's all I'm gonna say. Keep it like that. If you have any older cats, or really any cat, this here is a wipe. And as you can see, it's a dander reducing wipe because, cat allergies, they don't actually come from their hair, right? It comes from the dander, so it comes from the skin. So these actually kind of help that. But we've also had to use these on Rosemary when she gets a little stinky in her little behind area, or maybe she's having some diarrhea because, let's be real, right? Let's be real here. It does happen. But this is another good product I would highly recommend. You can get these on Amazon. They're like in a 3-pack for like $20 or something. And it comes, there's 50 in this, there's 50 in each one. So I would definitely, again, I might do a review on this also, but this is a good product. So I got one more. Oh, Renee, you have one too? Awesome. This last thing, okay. So we all know, definitely Black Widow. Yes, I am not monetized yet. So when I become monetized, and I do intend on keeping this live for sure, I will be careful on certain things, certain topics, of course. Now, whether you have cats or dogs, they throw up, right? It's part of life. They will throw up. And they usually throw up on your carpet. right? They're not going to make it to a toilet or make it to a garbage can or something and politely throw in the and throw up in the toilet or the garbage can. They're going to throw up on the ground. Maybe it might be solid floor where it's much easier to clean up. But if they do throw up on their on the carpet or on bedding or whatever, this stuff I was told about by actually our real estate agent. You can get this at Lowe's, probably Home Depot also. It's called Folex Instant Carpet Spot Remover. And this stuff works awesome. You don't have to spray a ton into it, and you just kind of let it kind of sit for a few minutes, if even that. And just like a paper towel or something, whatever you want to kind of wipe the ground off with, a cloth, whatever. This stuff works really, really well. So if you have like puke stains or something, we also have like a little mini carpet cleaner, like a handheld one that gets the stains too. But I would definitely recommend this product also. It's good. It removes basically everything: pet accidents, grease, ink, wine, coffee, blood, rust, food, cosmetics, dirt, grime, old stains, most old stains. So yeah, I would definitely get you that. Nick, no, I'm not getting cursed out by Rosemary. She's just she gets excited around the 5 o'clock hour. She gets vocal, and the thing with her, she can't hear, right? So she's deaf. So because she's deaf, she doesn't have any like internal volume control. So sometimes she gets very loud. You'd be amazed on some of the sounds that we hear from Rosemary. She's like like a 1,000 alarm clocks going off at the same time, loud. I mean, she's so loud. We have heard her when she really gets going. We can hear her from outside the house when she really gets meowing. So, but anyways, well, I do this in Rosemary's room, so I mean, she's got her own room. Okay, that's enough of that. I just wanted to mention those 3 products: the toothpaste, the pet wipes, and the carpet stain remover. Definitely would check it out. Lowe's, Home Depot, probably Amazon maybe too. I mean, what isn't an Amazon? All right. Let's see. So now, what was I kind of getting off topic there? Okay. So yeah. All right. Cost of being a cat parent. Now, as I'm sure everybody knows by now, and Bert, I'm going to include Rocky and Billy because being a dog parent or a dog kahoo, it's expensive. I mean, let's be honest here. It's not it's not cheap. Raising and taking care of cats or dogs, it is definitely expensive. And that's something I think a lot of maybe new cat parents, or new dog parents, I don't think they quite realize the cost that actually goes in to these these animals, these friends, these members of the family. They don't understand that it's not. I mean, they maybe think, hey, yeah, okay, yeah, a cat or a dog, it's I mean, they're pretty self-sufficient and they don't need much, and it's gonna not cost much. But I mean, think about it. If you adopt a cat, and this is only if you just adopt a cat, we're not even talking about, I know it's like adopt not shop, right? There are designer cats that cost like crazy amounts of money, right? I mean, we all know like designer cats, they're very expensive, but we're just talking about your basic non-designer cats, just your basic short hair, nothing special, just your typical kitty. Let's say you adopt them, right? So the adoption fee itself, usually, not always, but usually is $100, maybe $200. It depends on their age. It depends on several things. Now, that's only if you adopt. Now, if you get a kitten, let's say like is 6 weeks old, like I know, because I know some of you, I think John, in particular, and I think maybe Renee, I know myself, we've had cats, kittens that have come to us that are like 6 or 8 weeks old, right? Very young. You have to bottle feed them, which isn't cheap. and then you have to get all of their shots. And I think a lot of people don't realize how many shots that you actually have to give a kitten, from like age 6 weeks, 8 weeks, all the way to like age 8 months to a year or so. There are a set of shots. There's the feline leukemia shots, right? There's the gosh, I can't even think of it right now. The FVCPV shot. I can't think of all the shots, but there are multiple shots that go on through the year. And these shots, it's not like these shots are like $5 a piece. Now maybe you have like some kind of like special like situation where you have a cheaper vet or something, or like a discounted price or something. But let me see what Tranquil is saying here. She's had cats from the first day of their lives. Okay, so yeah, you definitely know what I'm talking about then, Tranquil. Shots themselves are usually, I don't know, 20, $50 a shot or so. And that's multiple times. So just think shots themselves. I mean, at the end of a cat's like first year of their living, being alive, they might have what, 3 shots, 3 times, maybe like about 15 shots on them, like all together. And those shots, add up. You might be spending maybe $500 for that first year, $700 just on shots alone. And those are just shots. Now, in addition to shots, you obviously have to have food, right? And then with kittens, they eat, and they eat, and they eat, and they eat a lot. Whether it's formula, whether it's, eventually they'll be able to eat dry food at, like 3 months, 4 months. There is some debate on when cats should be given dry food, like kittens food. Some say 6 months, some say 3 months. It just depends as far as that goes. Let me see what a couple are saying here. Raven Poe was 2 weeks old, many weeks of bottle feeding, and yes, all the beginning shots. Nick, I'm a mama and like to say maybe the problem is people not understanding cats and dogs are very much. Oh, definitely, Nick. Yeah, they are completely different. Yeah, dogs and cats are nothing alike. And then obviously a human child is a lot different too, and expensive also. But so you have food, right? And cats eat a lot when they're growing because they're growing babies, right? So they're gonna eat a lot. So you have food, you have litter, you got to have toys, right? There's a ton of toys that you got to buy because the kitten's got to play. Kitten's got to be a happy little one, and we got to, I mean, you can play like little cardboard boxes, but you got to have toys. And that's only first year. So I did some research in chat. What do you think the first year, when a cat has their first year of life, or a dog, but mostly a cat, when they have their first year of life, how much does it cost on average, the cat's first year of life? What do we think? How much do you think that is? With all the shots, all the food. How much do we think we're talking here? Let's see what people are starting to say. Raph is $2,000. Veronica is 2,500. Alice is a K. Bert has an exact 894 and 32 cents. Judy is at 1,500. Nick is at 5,000. Let's see. Okay. And then see what John is saying. Raven Poe went from a bottle to those little Sheba portions long before kibble. Yeah. Okay. So it depends, but the average cost, Let me see what Renee is saying real quickly. I had Lucy insured for a way larger amount than normal because I knew she was going to need all of her shots, spaying. Oh, that's something I didn't even mention. So she had a wellness alone cover about 3K, not to mention food, toys, bedding. Yeah, I didn't even mention bedding either. It's a pretty big. There's a very wide ranging, and that's another thing. You got to get them neutered also, and that's not cheap either. And that's seeing that they're healthy. They might have an issue. They come in, they get sick, and that's going to cost even more. But on average, for that first year, it's going to vary a little bit from species, from breed, and it's going to vary obviously on what kind of litter you buy. It's going to vary on what kind of food you buy. It's going to vary on what kind of toys you have, what kind of bedding you have. But on average, 15 to a 2,000, roughly. And that's just for one. That's just for one cat. Now, how long does like the average cat live? Let me see what else everybody is saying here. Ravenpoe was lucky to have Itzerman be his mentor because a little kitten needs to learn cats, something us humans cannot teach. Absolutely. Nick, shoot insurance alone is $2,500. Yeah, I don't actually, and that's another topic. Pet insurance. I don't have any pet insurance. I'm sure it's useful. But I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence somewhat with pet insurance, to be honest. Judy is saying 15. Raf is saying 18. John is saying 18. Renee is saying 15 to 16. Felicia is saying 18. Yeah, so it's not too far off from there. Now it also, of course, it depends on if this is an indoor cat only, or an indoor outdoor cat, an outdoor cat. It just depends. Yeah, Bert, Renee does have some good information with her. I remember talking to her about that last week with pet insurance. So yeah, I do know what you're talking about with that, Bert. So it kind of somewhat is going to depend, but 15, 16, 17 years is not uncommon nowadays. So you just kind of do the math. Now, of course, some of that money is going to go down a little bit. Like, say you're not having all these shots, right? But you still have annual shots. You still have, the annual, like either once a year or every 3 years rabies shots, depending on what state you live in and what they offer. You still have the annual other shots, I can't think of the acronyms right now. The FCVP one, and that's not right. I know that's not right, but they still have these shots that they have to get. You still have annual checkups, right? Or you're supposed to have annual checkups. You have blood work that usually needs to be done yearly. You might have dentals that need to be done. Dentals aren't cheap. So, even though like the vaccine costs go down a little bit after that first year, you have other things that'll start to rise. Dentals. Thank you, Raf. FVRCP. I can never think of what that is. Thank you, Raf, for putting that in. I appreciate that. And those shots themselves aren't cheap, right? You go to a vet and it's not like it's a it's a little tiny little thing. Let's see what Bert is going to say here. Adam was looking at something like a Kickstarter program to help generate funds for pet insurance. Since our crew is heavy in pet channels, yes, they are. Still doing a lot of research. Okay, Bert. Okay, well, let us know on that, and we'll, that could be an interesting thing, and maybe definitely not a bad thing either. Let us know on that, Bert. Renee, Lucy is in her second year. I dropped her wellness coverage to $500, and emergencies, accidents, illnesses to $5K. And then that's because you love them so much, Tranquil, and the family talk to them. Okay, yep. All right, but anyways, so it's not. There's a little bit of a drop off after that first year, but still you're talking, anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500. On that, and that's every year. That's every year after, and sometimes it might be a little less, because they may not have any issues. But let's say they have they come up with some kind of issue and they got to have X-rays. X-rays are my X-rays that we do, not we, but the vet we do is like $200, $300 an X-ray. Pandora is just going to be doing an ultrasound here this upcoming week, this upcoming Thursday, and that's going to be probably about $500 or so for this ultrasound. Dentals can be cheap if they don't have any extractions. But even without extractions, you have the anesthesia, which is most of the cost. You're still talking $200 or $300. And if you have extractions and you're talking, maybe 4, 5, 6 extractions, you could be talking $1,000. It's just something I don't think people really think about when they go and they see that fuzzy little kitten or that cute little puppy, of the actual like financial costs that you have to take care of these animals for their entire lives, because they are completely dependent on you. So it's just something that I think a lot of people don't seem to realize. And I think unfortunately, like the whole like 2020 timeframe with that whole C-19 stuff made it a lot of worse, because there were definitely a lot of people that got animals, that got cats at that time. And I think they got it because they were bored, they were locked in their home, and they wanted something. And I just think there's some issues with that, just again personally. Let me see what John and Bert are saying. So Bert, I will email you that you can share my findings on Sunday live. Okay, awesome, Bert. Thank you very much. Will do. John, think about. Oh yeah, so your cat, your brother's cat Malcolm, right? The one that's got the seizures and the bones and that constant care. Definitely. You have cats that have CF, or not CF, CH. CH is where they have kind of like that wobbly stuff. They're always kind of shaking a little bit, and they're in like constant care. It's not a cheap thing. It's not like a chia pet. It's a living being that just needs to be taken care of properly, and just far too many of those who have cats, I don't think they didn't realize what they were getting themselves into, and then they want to get rid of them after they are not cute anymore and dump them. See, Veronica, I know the responsibilities that come with it, so no fur babies for me. Well, if that's what you want to do or need to do, Veronica, then that obviously is a good thing. I would rather you do that than the opposite. Have to wind up getting a few, and then you're like, I can't really take care of these, so I gotta put them in a shelter, or I gotta maybe take them to an animal hospital or something like that. Let me see what Nick is saying. Would you consider writing a book, because people aren't told this information a lot of times when they go get a cat or a dog? It's because we want to give them a home and love them. Yeah. Nick, I have thought about writing before. And it's a potential. I think doing these lives and doing this information, I think I can, get maybe a bigger audience, if you will, overall, like over time. But writing a book would definitely be something that I would have an interest in doing. Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. I think so. All right. Does anybody have anything else to add as far as the cost of being a cat parent before we get into some fun behaviors? Because again, this is kind of your guys' live as much as it is mine. Because without y'all, I wouldn't be here, because I would just be talking to myself. And even though I can do that, it's not quite as fun. So any other questions, comments, discussions, anything like that as far as being a cat parent or a dog parent? Let's see. Alice, this Humane Society costs so much less. Yes, absolutely, they do. They do. And the reason I think that might be, Alice, is because they're trying to lower their numbers, in all honesty, because they have such a high population, and they're always having new cats and dogs come in. They need to get that cost low. It's the same with like adoption fees. Usually in humane societies, they are much lower than like let's say rescue groups, because they have, I mean, I hate to say it like this, but they have more volume. They have higher volume, so they have to try to get things moving, because if not, then either one, it's going to become a euthanized situation, or two, they're going to have to say, no, we can't accept anymore, unfortunately. John, if you love them, you do all you can to take care of them or find another source that will. Doris gave me Louis because she knew. Oh, I didn't know Louis came from. Okay, I didn't know that, John. That you got Louis from Doris. And hopefully, John, Doris continues to recover from her kidney infection. Let's see. Renee, KDP. So Kindle will allow you to self-publish your book. I have my cookbook up on Amazon right now. Okay, I'll definitely look into that, Renee. And I think we've talked about that before a little bit. I think you've mentioned that before at one point in time. NPP, don't have any questions, just listening while making dinner early. Hopefully you're making something good for everybody, NPP. Nick, I would just like to add that you may not believe it or find it hard to find, but there is an incredible, enormous amount of misinformation or having a cat or a dog. Oh, definitely, there is a ton of misinformation about everything nowadays. Yes, I completely agree with that, Nick. You got to combat misinformation with truth, and it's hard because you got to know like who to believe, because you hear different things from different people, right? And how to kind of I guess disassociate yourself from those who are not necessarily telling the truth is difficult to do sometimes. I would definitely agree. But there is definitely a ton of misinformation, and the biggest, really the biggest way of um, not getting fooled by disinformation or misinformation is educating yourself, learning, researching yourself, but also maybe asking a trusted person, like somebody who you feel like has nothing to hide or nothing to, the truth sometimes can be painful. And hopefully from this program, from like these lives, sometimes the truth will be a little bit painful, but it will be the truth. But anyways, yeah, I agree with you there. See what John is saying about Doris, that she's getting better, and Mao is all that she can handle, and bonded through Louis. Nice. Yes, y'all might have heard that was Rosemary a little louder when she got her food. She's always a little bit more excited when the food comes to her, and then she scarfs it down. Sometimes she throws it back up. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, let's continue. And let me make the screen bigger here. And let me take this comment off, John. So some more cat behavior. I always like to mention some more cat behavior here. So the first one, this might need an explanation. It might not. So if I fits, I sits. What do y'all think that means? If I fits, I sits. Hello, Icon. Thanks for popping in, friend. Hope you're doing well. We have just been talking about all things kitty, mostly. A little bit of COVID-related stuff, but still kept it cat-related. Hope you're doing well, Icon, today. So if I fits, I sits. I'll let everybody say hello to Icon. I think Alice might know where I'm going with this one, about this particular cat behavior, this interesting cat behavior. Cats would love boxes and to find a way to fit. Raph means Pearl Jam will stuff himself wherever Alex is. Alice, I mean, not Alex. Chrissy, they like to, or Veronica, they like to sit where they fit. Example, boxes. Tranquil, they will sit in almost anything. Renee, it means a cat will find any place that they think they can fit in. Personal and sense of security. I love that last part because I'm going to go there next, Renee, about that security part. A cat that sits where they don't fit. It's like nesting. Billy does this. Judy, you heading out? Everybody have a good day. I'm going to go eat. Hope you have a good meal, Judy. I appreciate you popping in here, and we will see you next time, Judy. Take care. Have a wonderful night. So yes, pretty much y'all had it right. So wherever a cat can fit their body in, they will sit there. And I love what Renee was saying when it comes to the sense of security. So a lot of the times they might get into a box like this, right? Our cats, they love their Amazon boxes. This is one of Rosemary. She's got a few in her room. And why they like these boxes is they can, especially they put their back like here, they'll have their butt there, right? And then they'll look out. So they know that they're protected, like almost being in a cave. They're protected from predators. It's like an instinct thing, kicking back in their instincts that they'll hide. They'll be able to hide, and they'll be able to secure that nothing's gonna get them from behind or get them from their sides or anything. So that's another good reason on why, especially they love those boxes. Let's see what Veronica is saying. Another example is Rosemary and her sink. Yes, she is a weird little kitty cat with her sink for sure. Nick, my cats would sit behind my backside in my office chair. I'd move them because I thought they would be uncomfortable, and they continue to get right back up there. All right, so yeah, a little bit of sense of security. Yeah, kind of getting back into their instinct thing, hiding from predators mostly. But yeah, so that's one. And then how about this next one? Number 2. And this is something that I love, that when I watched a couple of Alice's videos, I've seen Sweetie do those slow blinks. So cat eyes. You have intense stare versus a slow blink. What is the difference? What do you think, Chad? What is the difference between a cat who has an intense stare, looking at you intensely, and then a cat that's doing that slow blink? Excuse me, getting a sip of water while they're looking at you. Because I'm sure everybody has seen both, where a cat is like really, really, like really intensely, like staring at you forever, and then one, well, they'll blink slowly. What is the difference between those two? Let's see. Well, this is my wife who's making an appearance. Kit is plotting our demise, doing that intense stare. Raph, intense stare is I want food. Let's see. Alice is, where did Alice go? Alice, intense stare, they want something. Slow blinks that they are happy and content. Renee, the stare is a challenge, meaning they're pretty much not happy with the situation. A slow blink is submissive, and how they communicate trust. Slow blink equals I love you. Slow blinks are love. Intense stare means watch out, especially with the airplane ears. Yeah, you gotta love those airplane ears ready to take off, right? See, wife, some people are saying hello to you. You say when you put a comment on here that nobody ever says hello to you. You had Bert saying hello to you, and you have Renee saying hello to you. Nick, I honestly don't know. I've heard so many rumors. I just don't know. The intense stares are very cute and weird. And let's see. Nick is also face studying me, I call it. Okay. So yeah, the intense stare is definitely like there. It could be a little like intimidation. It could be like, it could also be like it's a predator, where you got to keep your focus, laser focus. I don't know. Cats are also kind of goofy sometimes. So cats sometimes they stare at a wall, right? So, and they're intently stare at a wall for hours. So I'm not sure sometimes when it comes to the intense stare. Our cats, they, the baby in particular, she just stare at a wall. But I would completely agree and think with the slow blinks that's, from my understanding. So you're getting a lot of love there, wife, in the chat, but you're not responding to anybody. Or you might be making food now. I don't know. But anyways, those slow blinks are definitely more of the love, like the I love you. And there's one thing I was saying about Alice's channel. Oh, you're feeding Zelda. Yeah, that takes a little time feeding Zelda. The thing I was liking about Alice's channel, I'm not sure if okay, Alice is still on here, is I love Sweetie because she does those slow blinks. And she's got a few videos of it, so that's an awesome thing to see. I'm gonna see if I can get some of my cats doing that. Oh, she's definitely not making me broccoli, Bert. She knows better. Hey, that'll go right to the trash. Being honest. All right. Let's see what's next. Litter box issues. So litter box issues. So think medical and or behavioral. What would be some of the medical reasons, and then what would be some of the behavioral reasons that a cat is peeing or pooping outside of the litter box? What do y'all think? Alice, you are perfectly welcome. John, a baby possum got into my shack a few years ago. I would not imagine that would be fun at all, John. I've heard possums, especially like mama or papa possum, can be very aggressive, let's say. Very aggressive. All right, give a few moments here with some of those litter box issues with medical versus behavioral. And this is one of the top reasons. I'm seeing some answers starting to fill in the chat here. This is one of the top reasons on why cats get dropped off at vets. And what I mean by dropped off, I mean abandoned at vets. Is because they're starting to pee or poop outside of the litter box, and the owner doesn't know what to do, or doesn't want to handle it, or doesn't want to do what needs to be done to address the issue, or try to find out or solve what the issue might be. Number one issue is this on why cats get returned to foster places, why cats get returned to rescue groups, why cats go to the humane shelters, why cats get abandoned, why cats get tossed out in the middle of nowhere is litter box. That is the number one issue. All right, let me see what people are saying. Alice, diabetic. Yep, that would be that definitely could be a reason, and that would definitely be in the medical sense. A ref too old to get in the box, yeah. So that's why it's important to have those. Last week we talked about those like low entry litter boxes, right? The ones that are just a few inches off the ground. I mean, some litter boxes are like this high, and an older cat, it's difficult. It's painful for them to get up there. They have arthritis in their hips, so this low entry, it makes them a lot easier for them to climb over and get into that litter box. Alice is also UTI. Yep, that would definitely be medical. Nick, sick. Yep, definitely. John, this is a good one. Not cleaning the litter box. So yeah, you definitely need to keep your litter box clean. Something we talked about last week. I mean, I scoop my litter boxes once a day. I think some in here, they scoop them once, twice, 3 times a day. They definitely need to be clean, because cats are incredibly clean animals. Cats, they spend like 50% of their waking hours grooming themselves. So it always makes it. I laugh when people say, "Oh, you let your cat on the counter." It's like, yeah, I do, because cats are cleaner than us humans are, much cleaner. But anyways, let's see what else people are saying. Nick, old or dislike the box. Yep. Renee, behavioral issue could be that the box is not clean enough. Medical issue, that could be constipation, UTI, or many other things. Any number of things. Tranquil, cats demand a clean litter box. And John, Bitsy and Belle pees in the bathtub if the litter box are not completely clean. Well, they have you trained well, John. I know you say you're their butler, and that's definitely true. Bert, you have stairs. Yep. Like up the bed, right, Bert? I'm assuming. And John, twice a day. Okay, so let me get back to this real quickly. So yeah, pretty much right on. So a lot of the medical issues could be diabetes. It could be UTI. Medical issue, you could just have old aging arthritic hips where it's painful to get up there, like Raph was talking about. I would definitely, though, always go, if you see this issue, I would go to your vet. And, obviously, blood work is always good to have done because there might be something going on. Kidney failure, uh, kidney disease also is another big one, medical wise. Also, some of the stuff with behavioral issues. Let me just see what Tranquil is saying here. I have had cats that couldn't hold it. Then they have attempt to get there and they couldn't do it. Yeah, so there might be some like bladder incontinence. I'm assuming those are probably older cats, Tranquil, but let me know in the chat. And Bert is just talking about those stairs. Yep, up the bed. Some of the sorry, losing my train of thought here. Some of the behavioral stuff could be a dirty litter box, like y'all mentioned, right? It could also be introducing a new cat or dog, introducing a new baby, introducing something into the mix, something into the family that is stressing the cat out. And then because of that stress, excuse me, because of that stress, it might stop them from using the litter box, or maybe that's how they're handling that stress is by peeing or pooping outside of the litter box. Um, Unfortunately, when cats, we talked about this a few weeks ago, when cats get declawed, when they get this part, this, do it this way, when they get this part of their finger chopped off, because that's what happens, it's an amputation with declawing. A lot of the times it'll lead to some behavioral issues in the litter box also, because they can't like scratch, they can't dig the litter anymore. That's something that can happen also. Tranquil, okay, so older cats, yeah, they might have some bladder incontinence, Tranquil, and that's sad. But that's where, as a great kahu, like I know that you are a good cat parent, you'll clean them up and you'll do what you need to do for them. So, and that's always appreciated, I should say. Okay. Let me just check the time here. So 5:20. Okay. John, Rafi, our pterodactyl cat, had a bad UTI, almost died from a blockage. Pills and medicine saved him back in the. Okay, so he lived. Okay, so he's a boy. Yeah, boys. A boy cat, a male cat having a blockage, like not being able to pee, is a serious medical issue. So if anybody ever has a male cat and you're noticing that they are trying to pee and you're watching them, that is a life-threatening situation. They can die in a matter of like a day or so, 2 days max, if they do not get. Usually, what has to happen if they're blocked and they're a male cat, they become then a female cat. I want to say it's been a while, but I want to say it's a flood, FLUUD surgery. And that is a major issue if a male cat, it's a major issue if a female cat is not peeing also, of course. But if it's a male cat and they're not peeing, then they can die very easily, very quickly, and very fast from that situation. So, if you have a male cat and, you're noticing like they're not peeing, or you're noticing maybe you have just one male cat and you just have one cat altogether and you don't see any pee in the litter box for a day or so, then there's an issue. Unless they're not drinking, then that's another problem potentially. But yeah, that's definitely, that's definitely an issue. Okay. This next one, I think Raf can especially talk about, or kind of know. Let me see. Before that, though, Tranquil, I had a cat that has had that. He had tiny, like kidney stones or bladder stones, or oh god, what are those other stones? Starts with Struvivites. They're like little. They're like the stones. There's like they're in the bloodstream. Usually they're not the bloodstream. The bloodstream, not the bloodstream. Like in the pee stream. So anyways, let me get on to the next thing though. I could talk about that for a while, but I want to keep my pace here. Okay, so Raf, and I guess it looks like Renee can definitely speak, and everybody can, of course, but I hear Raf always talking to him being up at like 3 o'clock in the morning because Pearl Jam is up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So 2 o'clock zoomies and cat calls. What do y'all think about that? What is your experience with your kitties and that topic? I know Rafts because I know he's mentioned it, talked about it multiple times with Pearl Jam. And why? Why do you think this happens too? All right, so let's see. Renee, oh yes, I know all about the Midnight Zoomies. And of course, Pearl Jam. He loves the nightlife. You know, Raph, maybe sometime um, you need to have a short with Pearl Jam, only because of the music aspect of it. And you can play the song when he's running around if you can ever catch him. There's that, what is it? I like the nightlife song. I don't know if that's what it's called, but something like I like the nightlife, and I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but there's a song, so maybe you can have that a short sometime with Pearl Jam running around. Let's see, Veronica. Most of the time, I get to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning. Alice can sleep through the night, but Pearl Jam wakes up at least twice. He needs to get more tired out. Alice, I noticed that my cat will have 2 a.m. zoomies if I haven't played with her during the day. Perfect, Alice. That's kind of what I was going to talk about next, is that play stuff, that playtime. John, they will be suddenly hidden and have little moments. Please always know your cats and know when they're acting unusual. It takes a couple days. Oh, okay, so yep, okay. Yeah, can't talk. The nightlife song. Hello, Rosemary. Pent up energy, not enough regular pay. So yeah, not, and again, this isn't 100%, so this isn't everybody's case, but a lot of the times, sorry, Rosemary, you need a place to jump up here, don't you? I got your desk all covered with a bunch of crap. All of these products. Okay, there. Now you can go spy on the neighbors in peace. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so not all of the time, but a lot of the time it is because of pent up energy. It is because they need something to kind of get them moving throughout the day, so then they won't have those bursts of energies. Now, sometimes though, when you have young cats, like Raph has, Alice and Pearl Jam are what, 3, right, Raph? Around there, 3.5, something like that. So they're not kittens anymore, but they're still very young cats. Now, our cats, they range anywhere from 3 up to 19. Obviously, our 19-year-old isn't running around at midnight, meowing and stuff like that. Oh, and that's the other thing, cat calls too. That's the other thing I wanted to mention too. 2.5 years old. Okay, so they're not even 3 yet. They're almost like kittens still then. But our younger cats definitely are more active in that time frame, that nighttime time frame. And you'll hear them meowing. You'll hear them running all over the place. You'll hear them knocking stuff down. You'll wonder what's going on. Is somebody attempting to get into our home because of all the noise? And then you just go back to sleep. You realize it's the cat, and you just don't worry about it. But definitely younger things, younger cats, I should say, will have this issue. Usually, not always, and it's something that either play will kind of take some of that extra, spit and vinegar out of them a little bit. But sometimes it won't. Maybe they just have so much energy that they're just gonna, they're gonna run wild, or they sleep during the daytime, and then they'll be out all night, like Pearl Jam there, Raph. Let's see what Tranquil is saying. Cats are nocturnal, like yourself. We come to life at night. My mother doesn't understand. Raph, he loves trying to open the cabinets with the baby lock, so it makes a loud banging noise. As you all have seen, Yoda does the same thing, but we don't have the baby locks. He opens them, and we call it his thinking spot. He gets in there, he thinks, he meditates, he makes a lot of weird noises. Hello, Alan Williamson. Thanks for popping in, friend. I hope you are doing well. Today, I'm just obviously talking about cats, and right now we're talking about cats having those 2 o'clock zoomies and having some cat calls. Just some interesting behavior that we see in our kitty cats, and maybe dogs. I'll let everybody say hello to Alan. before we get on to that next topic? Because we are starting to wrap things up here. We're about a half hour to go. And I got a couple more things, and then I'll finish it up. Yes, Tranquil. I think Miracle and Yoda, I don't know. I have a feeling they would get along very well. Maybe not, but I think they would. I definitely think they would like each other's company. Alan, zooming always fun. Straight to the cat pan. Okay. Then John, Ravenpoe bangs against the cupboards constantly. He knows where that food is. Yep. He wants a little extra meal. He wants his late night snack. For sure. Okay. So the last little piece here, as far as, cat behavior, some unique, some not, some common, some not, is Tranquil. If he's more, I'd love to hear him more inside. If he's a little bit more vocal inside, and if you could film that, that would be awesome to see and to hear sometime. To see, see him talk, see him talking to you. Sometimes talking back to you, I'm sure, but talking to you there, that'd be great to see. Okay. The last thing here is something that I want to say John mentioned earlier. I think it was John, but I'm not sure. Is irritation. So literally irritation. So in other words, those earplane ears. I would imagine, almost everybody has seen, I don't know if dogs do earplane ears or not. Bert and Alan, I think you have a dog also, Alan, I want to say, right? I think we talked about your dog, your older doggy, that's like 12 or 13, that's kind of getting up there in age a little bit. They might have earplane ears too. Let us know in the chat. But why do you think kitties do that? Why do you think they have those ear twitches, or those, especially those earplane ears? What's going on? One must love those earplane ears. Alan had a cat for 22 years and a bunch before that. Bert, Dakota or Coda, I believe, is Alan's dog. Raph is saying, when my wife uses the blender, so probably a sound then with that, right? It's something that's getting their attention. It's like, radar. It's like, what is this noise coming from? John, fight. fight. Alan, Dakota, and Buster are my dogs, I call them. They are hearing something, says Veronica. And then Renee, I see Lucy do that to Leo. Basically, she's had enough of his shenanigans. Okay. All right. So, yeah. And let's see, what is Tranquil saying? My Tuxie does that. He is very sensitive, and he does it if something is bothering him. Yeah. So, from my understanding, and from my, again, I'm not going to say expertise. I mean, even though I've had a lot of experience with cats, I don't consider anybody to be a cat expert, because there's always going to be a cat that a person can come on to and not really know what's going on. So I think it's dangerous to call yourself a cat expert. I am not one. I just love cats and love to talk about them and love to share, my experience with you and your experience with me, and just to kind of, have this this cat community. That's what this is all about. Keep on learning and keep on growing. So with the earplane stuff, to me, I think that most of the time, again, not always, most of the time, it is something has my attention. It's something is irritating. It's something is up. It's be careful, watch out, be leery. I might go into crazy attack mode. And then a few seconds later, I'm going to be licking whatever I'm attacking. I'm sure you probably all have noticed before that if you have multiple kitty cats, and sometimes they, let's say, play fight a little bit, and a few seconds later, they'll be just licking each other. So they'll be biting each other, play fighting, and then they're going to be licking each other the next second or the next few moments after that. I'm sure, you all have seen that before. Um, let's see, John, airplane ears that go back and down, ready to defend or do what is needed, fighter jet style. Yeah, kind of like that fight, that fight or flight mode sets in. Okay. So before I move on, we have like a couple more things here in this last about 25 minutes or so. Does anybody have anything they want to add to any of these? Does a question, a comment? Let me know in the chat. I'll give a moment for that. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so yeah, any questions like kind of just mentioned? And if anybody has any questions over these last like 20-25 minutes, just feel free to put in the chat and we will definitely talk about. Hello, Evie and friends too. Thank you for popping in here. I'm not familiar with your channel, so I appreciate you popping in here. Do you have kitties or do you love kitties? If you do, then you are in the right place because this is all about different cats and cat experiences. And, everybody here either loves cats or has cats. So this is a cat-friendly place. Everybody's welcoming you. I appreciate that, everybody. Thank you for letting Evie be a warm welcome for her or for him. Obviously, I'm not sure, male or female, but thank you for popping in, friend. Evie, I'm also going to have you as a moderator, just a standard moderator. So you may not be familiar with that, but basically what that means after I do that is, or is Evie L. George? Because I just don't recognize the name. Obviously, I know L. George, or L. George is, but if that's you, Evie, then you have a moderator there, so you can obviously check out other channels if you so desire with that wrench. Okay, let me go on. Yep, just good old Yoda here. Yeah, Yoda, he's the king goofball. He is the king goofball, for sure. Let me see, what was I saying? Okay, that's right. All right, so I'm going to skip through I'm not going to skip through this, but I'm going to go pretty quickly. I added a few channels at the back end because everybody kind of knows these channels and everybody is familiar with these channels. We have John's in the chat with his 4 cats. I got to change that to Cat Billies now, 4 Cat Billies. I think it's your channel name. Yeah, 4 Cat Billies now in the Mountain Shacks. I got to change that, John. Allison Pearl Jam, obviously, Amzil, who's not in here, Ari, who does the cat drawings. So I'm going to be a little quicker with this stuff because I got a few more things I got to get to. RU Kahu official out in Indonesia. Burrito, which I'm not sure if Burrito is here still anymore, or Wham, I'm probably going to mess that up. I apologize if you're still in here. Cat Friends, I think everybody knows. Bailey, she's got a few. Obviously, Cat Penny with Mike and Maggie there. Cat Lady Natasha and the Mew Diaries, who Renee introduced to the group. Cats and Counseling has the one kitty Rabbit. Oh, hello, L. George. Thanks for popping in, friend. Cats and Castle's got the one kitty Rabbit. Everybody knows Cats for Nelson with Louise and her 5 kitties. Excuse me. Catty and Friends. I'm drawing a blank for that one right now. Sorry. Chicky and Chigu. Chigu. Sorry. And Champ, I think. Obviously a good channel. They got a lot of fun stuff going on there. Okay, so this one has a few new ones on here. The top one's not new from last week, but the Princess Chico and her servants. Chunky Kitty Media, some of you may be familiar with and some of you may not. But I've probably known this channel for, oh, I don't know, maybe a few months or so. They do have a mixture of shorts and a mixture of long videos also. Um, it is usually, there's just one cat named Sal on this channel, Sal the cat. Um, I like it, but then again, I like all of the channels. Just a little information with this one. Sal was an adult cat who was adopted from a local animal shelter. I would check it out if you don't know them. I mean, if you want to, but you don't have to. But I do like that channel. Let me zoom this back here again. Creddy counts, or Critty cats, I should say. Again, I've known this channel for a few months also. They have two cats, Crash and Eddie. They do shorts, they do videos, very sweet stuff. I mean, really, how can you go wrong with cat channels anyways? I mean, unless you're just some kind of weirdo or something, or you're doing some really weird stuff with cats. I mean, everybody loves cats, or most everybody loves cats, but it's another good channel. Maybe you don't know them, maybe you don't. Something maybe to look at if you so desire. So that's Creddy cats with Crash and Eddie. The next one here, Cuddling Cats, Quasi and Uli. I'm bad with names, so I'm probably mispronouncing that. So if I am, I apologize. But two kitties, again, have a lot. And this is a unique one. So Cuddling Cats, Quasi and Uli, they have zero shorts, which is odd nowadays, right, on YouTube. But they have zero. They have no shorts. All they do are videos, which I think is kind of cool and kind of sets them apart a little bit. But let me make it bigger so you can see it again. But if you don't know that channel, I would definitely check them out. Yeah. So, and let me see. And then the last one, I think John in particular, I know is familiar with, and maybe Raph, but I'm not sure with Raph. But John, I know for sure. Okay, Raph, they had the cuddling contest, the cuddling cat channel. Yeah, that sounded from okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and you asked me, and I'm like, yeah, I might, but I never did. The last channel on here that I made for this week was Furklin. I think that's how you say it. Flurkin Cats DIY, do it yourself. They have some really good content when it comes to their shorts and when it comes to their long forms. A lot of their shorts they're like little stories. They're really well done. They're really well put together. Again, if you don't know that channel, maybe check it out. I don't think you can go wrong with really any of these channels. Yeah, John, they're excellent. They're from Finland. Yeah. They respond to you also. So and what I mean by like that is, they'll I've talked to them a little bit, and I've talked to them about like how cats are treated in Finland. And they said for the most part they're treated pretty well. Because what I'm trying to do with some of these channels is I'm trying to kind of develop a bit of a relationship like with the creator, and getting to know kind of how cats are treated in different parts of the world. So they're from Finland. Hello, Eric, cool gamer. Thanks for popping in, friend. Appreciate seeing you there. They're from Finland. I know Chico is from Japan, I think. Ox, Nix, Potato and Nix. Potato and Nix. They're from Croatia. So I'm just trying to kind of see how cats are treated. Selena Moonlight is from Brazil. Just how cats are treated in different parts of the world, just to kind of compare and just to kind of also eventually get some more information out there on these lives to just see how these kitties are treated across the world. So that's what I'm trying to do the best I can. But anyways, that's the list for today. So not as much. Oh, and as always, if you know of any cat channels that maybe I don't know of, then, put them in the chat, or after the stream is over, just put them in a comment and I'll definitely check them out. Because, as I think most of you know, I'm trying to grow this cat community as much as I can, because I think the more people we have on here, the more education that we can provide as a community. And eventually, I would love to. Let me write that down, John. Um, Give me a second here. Let me get a. Yes, Rosemary? Let me just put it on my phone. So MV vids. Okay, let me go to my notes. Just give me a second here. MV vids, and they're from Serbia. Okay. All right. I appreciate that, John. All right. I will check them out. And then Tranquil, you're saying White Cat Garden, and they're from India. Okay. All right. Thank you, Tranquil. Because there's a ton of cat channels, right? And I only know like, a portion, a very small portion for sure. All right. Oh, and also, just on that topic briefly, Raf asked me like maybe a week ago or so on if I ever planned on having any other. Let me write that down, John. Sarber Duman. That's from Turkey. Okay. All right. Appreciate it, John. About a week ago, Raf was asking me if I ever planned on having other cat channels on here, and I said, sure, absolutely. They can talk about their cat channel. We can talk cats. We can talk about. I'd love to, for them to talk about kind of their experience with cats, kind of, how they started. What was there like a moment in time where they saw, yeah, cats are cool, and I just want to do as much as I can to help these critters. They're kind of their origin story. Talk about their cats a little bit. So, and I'll make a post on this in time. But obviously, if there's any cat channels that are on here on these Sundays, whether it's John, Renee, Raf, excuse me, Tranquil, whoever else, Alice, if you're still on here, Wham, I'm sorry, if you're still on here, or anybody else that might be on here, that's a cat channel. That's the only thing you have to have. You have to be a cat channel, though. And what I mean by that is the bulk of your content has to be cat related. You just can't randomly on occasion have like a cat on there because it's like, sorry, but I'm just not going to do that. Because I don't know if your passion is truly cats or not. You might have a couple cats that you showcase or that you show on occasion on your channel, but it's like, I'm not so sure. I got to make sure that you're actually a cat channel and that your passion is cats, as it is my passion also. So the door will always be open for that, and I'll maybe start asking some people in particular. And you don't have to be on here for the whole 2 hours unless you want to. But maybe like a 10-minute thing, a 15-minute thing, 20 minutes, just to kind of talk about your channel a little bit, talk about your cats, talk about your passion, talk about your backstory, stuff like that. It's that'll be open always for anybody who wants to pop on here. All right. So what I wanted to end with was a way I thought of maybe getting to know my cats more, and eventually getting to know your cats more too. And what I mean by that is getting to know, like, recognizing like who they are automatically, because obviously there are a ton of cats out there, and to be honest with you, I don't know, like I think I can know all of John's cats, Itzerman, Ravenpo, Louie. I'm missing one, I'm sorry, John. Tranquil, she's got a ton, so I know Miracle, obviously, Tuxie. I know there's more. I'm sorry, Tranquil. I'm not thinking of who they are. Renee, obviously, Lucy, and Leo. Some of them are more easy if you don't have a ton. But what I'm trying to do, I just like to kind of like get to know the cats better, kind of thing. So What I mean by that is, let me put this back up. And what I thought might be a little fun. This isn't a game, or I mean, this isn't like a contest or anything, so there's no prize for this. But I thought this would be kind of cool. So it's just, I'm calling it Name That Cat. So for example, I think some may know who this cat is. You know, he's a pretty popular cat on my channel, or a lot of people want him to continue. So does anybody know this cat's name? It's kind of hard to tell with the mask somewhat. So John, Raven, Poe, Itzerman, Bitsy, Bell, and King Louie. Okay, so I was off on one. 3 out of 4 is not bad. And this is obviously the Phantom of the Opera cat, right? No, but this is you know, this is the tuxedo cat, right? Yeah, it's not Yoda, Veronica. Yeah, this is the big, as John calls it, this is the big fat AI cat, or the humongous tuxedo cat. Yeah, I just have him as a mask because he's hiding. But anyways, so a thought that I had was I'm gonna have pictures of my cats without names, obviously, and I'm gonna see who remembers who, like who remembers their names. I just thought it might be a little bit fun to do, and then I'm gonna talk a little bit. I'm gonna talk about a little bit after we're done with the cats here. So let's see, who knows who? Who is this cat? Can anybody name this cat? Alan, no worries. Bert, nope, that's not the baby. Nope, Raph, it's not the baby. no, John, it's not the baby. Yes, it is an adorable kitty. So this is why I wanted to do this, just to get to know these cats a little bit better. So this kitty, I'll give a few more moments, but this kitty, and this is an older picture, like the one that with her, yeah, there, okay, yep, we gotta, and Renee was correct, this is Zelda. A much more recent picture is her and her monkey. The picture to the picture where she's sitting in a chair, she was probably like, this was, I think, back when we were maybe in Arizona. Maybe we just moved to North Carolina, but that picture on when she's on the chair, much younger, she's probably like about 3 years old. And the picture with her monkey, she is 18, 19 years old. So she doesn't even look like the same cat, actually. She looks like a different cat altogether. But I promise to you, that is the same cat. I think we had flash on there. That's why her coat looks completely different. But she has gotten a little like darker with her coloring as she's aged too. So anyway, so that's Zelda. Congrats, good job, Renee. How about now this kitty? Now y'all better get this kitty. She's got 2 names. Tranquil, let me give me a second on that, Tranquil. I can definitely talk about that. I'll go through these a little quicker, so I can talk about that, Tranquil, about moving with cats. That experience, it was interesting. All right, so yeah, I'm seeing Rosemary. Yep, Rosemary. Okay, yep. So that's definitely Rosemary. And Alan, yes, she is the great typer. She types up all of my scripts for my videos. And she's obviously a sink kitty. She's a little weirdo. All right, I'm gonna go on to the next one. Do we know who this kitty is? Yes, Alan, she was our dishwasher for a little bit. She licked those plates clean. I'll give everybody a few moments here. Yep, so that is Renee, you got that correct. Yep, that is Pandora. She is going to be the one who has an ultrasound this upcoming week on her stomach to make sure that she has no tumors or something else that's causing her weight loss, like cancer. So hopefully we'll have a good experience on Thursday for her. But yeah, that is Pandora. So let me go on to the next one because I don't want to run out of time here, and I want to pretty much stick to my 2-hour clip here. How about this one? But yeah, you're right. All right on the last one. That was Pandora. This kitty is who? Hello, Trev. Thanks for popping in, friend. Hope you're doing well. We were just naming that cat, Trev. Yep, Renee, you are on a roll with my kitties here. That is the baby. Yep, Raph, you are correct also. The baby. Alan, yeah. Yeah, she has a big old mouth. Yeah, she has a big yawn. She likes to show off her fangs, big time. All right, good job. How about this one? He's not in as many videos. He's a little shy. Again, Renee, you're spot on. That is Max Whiskers Maximus, although he is a coward. Let me see here. Alan, you had a cat named Pumpkin that looked like the baby. Awesome, awesome. The scared one, yeah. Yes, Raph, you are correct. He is the scared one. Veronica, you are close, but we do have 3 tuxedos, but that particular tuxedo is not Yoda. All right, let me go on to the next one here. Since I got quite a bit going on here, I want to get through with these, or get done with these, so I can kind of talk about this a little bit more, and then ask or talk about my traveling that Tranquil asked here a little bit ago. Alan, that is a lot of tuxedo, a lot of toes on one hand. You had 2 tuxedo cats with 8 toes on one hand. Wow. Hey, Jennifer, thanks for popping in. No worries, Jennifer. We are starting to wrap up, Jennifer, but I'll probably be on another 5-10 minutes or so, but I appreciate you popping in, friend. Bert, I have no idea what that is. I don't know what language you're speaking, so I have no idea what you're saying. So is anybody gonna get this one? She has not been seen very often. I don't put her in many videos. She's not as photogenic as the other ones as much, for sure. Okay, but I'll say this one so I can keep on going. So this is Kit. This was the one that escaped and killed that squirrel and was gone for like 2 days nearly. And that's kind of her highlight, if you will. But that's Kit. Okay. Let me go on to the next one. I think there's like 3 more, so I can quickly talk about this a little bit more. Again, I think this one everybody should know. He's been in plenty of videos. And I think he has I think him and Rosemary and yeah, I'll say yeah, you're right, Renee, Yoda, or hashtag Yoda 2024. Now, I think him and Rosemary are probably the 2 most known kitties out of the 9. They always seem to do the best when it comes to their videos, it seems like. Okay, you all are correct. Okay, next. This is the last of the 3 of the tuxedos. This is our only female tuxedo. Out of our 3, we have 2 males and we have 1 female. The picture that we're this kitty cat is excuse me, standing up like a prairie dog. She was young at this age. She was probably like 6 months, a year, 6 months, 9 months maybe. And then the picture that where she's kind of on the couch, looking weird. This was a more recent, like say last 3 months or so, picture. Renee, that is not the little boy. The little boy is not with us anymore. He's the one that had I did that video on. He passed on back in man 2015. Yeah, almost 10 years ago. He's with us in spirit. Okay, so this is Tiny. That's Tiny. And Tiny is a sibling to the last cat here. And this is the last cat. So Tiny and this kitty are siblings. We did a fostering of 5 cats. The last fostering group we did. And we wound up foster failing with 2 of them, Tiny and her brother. Yep, and you got it, Renee. And that is Tang, or Tangerine, or Orangey. He's got multiple names. He's a good boy. He's a sweet boy. As you can see on the picture on the right where he's laying, he definitely likes to sleep on his back. He's always like, when we notice when he's going to sleep or sleeping, he's often always on his back. He's just like, he's very relaxed when it comes to that kind of stuff. So that'd be Tang boy. Oh, Orangey. Oh, Tang. Oh, Tangerine. Okay. So the reason, what I want to try to do, and it's kind of going to be up to chat. What I would love to do, if you all are willing to, my email is up on the top of this live. I think it still is. What I was thinking with this is a way to kind of get to know like each other's cats a little bit better, especially those who have multiple cats, like myself, John, Tranquil, so forth. Jennifer's got her 5, and so on. Is if you want to, I'd love for you to send me a picture like of your cat or cats, and then I will put them up on here. And then as the chat, we can kind of guess like, who is this cat? Like, name this cat, I don't know what you think about that. You like it, you don't like it, you're like, man, not interested. It's just something to think about. Maybe it's something that I think could be kind of like a cool little segment in these lives. With these lives, I'm trying to like make segments. There's the cat there's the cat channel like shout out part, right? There's the topic stuff, there's question stuff, there's now maybe some headline stuff. So I just think maybe a cool little part would be, a video, or not a video, a picture of your cats. And then people within the chat, they have to guess like, hey, this is, who is this kitty? I just think it'd be something that's kind of cool. And I think it's something where you can connect with each other a little bit more. But, let's see, Raph, that would be nice. Jennifer, that's a cute idea. So, if you're willing and wanting to participate in that, like I said, I think my email is up on the top of the chat. So, maybe write it down, and then sometime during the week, just email me, a picture or 2 or a few pictures of your kitties. And it could be maybe when they're younger, so make it really difficult, like when they're a kitten. And it's like, it's going to be harder because sometimes cats, when they're younger, they don't look the same as they age, right? They look a certain way when they're a baby, but then, like humans, we look differently. We look different when we're an adult than compared to when we're, young. So, and I'm also going to put a community post on that too, just for those, especially those like Judy, for example, who I know doesn't have a channel, who doesn't have content, I should say. If she wants to, and dogs also, I'm fine with doing dogs also. So Bert, if you're still on here, I don't know if you're here still or not, but if you want to, I'm sure you have like lots of pictures of Rocky and Billy when they were younger or even now. So dogs could be perfectly, I'm good with dogs also. So just something I was thinking about to do. And so, but anyways, I think that's about it. I'm going to start wrapping up here. Just a couple minutes past 6 o'clock. Um, see anything else? If anybody, oh yeah, Tranquil very briefly wanted me to talk about, and I'm going to leave most of this for next time. I'm going to write it down though, Tranquil. Traveling with pets across country. Because we had 3 cats when we lived in Arizona, and we moved all the way to North Carolina, and that's like a 2,000-mile trip. So it was interesting, needless to say. So I definitely have some stuff I can talk about that. In the meantime, I thank everybody for being here. Bert, George, John, Renee, Jennifer, Raph, Tranquil, Veronica, Alice. Nice to get your name, Alice. Alan. I'm just kind of scrolling through the chat here so I can remember. I think that's everybody that I can remember. So, anyways, wait a second. Oh yeah. Thank you, Raph. Yeah. So I wanted to mention something about Megan and her channel, obviously, Paws and Tails. As I'm sure you all knew or know by now, that unfortunately, Lulu, her kitty, passed away back on Monday, and it was unexpected, as these kind of things always are. We were bleeding from the behind, and they finally got a diagnosis right of kidney failure, I think it was, or kidney disease and cancer. And they decided to, do what is tough, but it's the needed thing to do, and to, end the suffering that cat was going to have. So I just wanted to mention that. I'm sure everybody, like I said, I'm sure everybody knows about that situation with Megan and Lulu, and that also Megan created a playlist honoring Lulu and her tribute for her. So, obviously I watched it, I think sometime during the week after she posted it. So if you don't know that she also created a playlist of Lulu, there's about maybe 40 videos, 45 videos or so that's on it. And you could kind of see the weight loss as the videos got newer. But I just wanted to mention that real briefly about Megan. Obviously, prayers still for her and her family, for Lulu, and for the other kitties that that they still have. Pepper and I think Fluffy are the other cats that I'm familiar. I think those are the cats' names. But thank you for reminding me about that, Raph. But anyways, again, I appreciate everybody being here. I hope that we'll, kind of keep on growing this cat community channel thing, this this live stream, whatever exactly I'm calling this. I don't really know sometimes, but think about the picture stuff. Let me know. Maybe write down that email and send me some pictures, and we can kind of have some fun with it during the week. That's pretty much it. Rosemary is being let out. It is her time to have a good night, Raph. Her time to kind of own the house, if you will. And I wish you all a good night. A couple of other just quick things. There are, I think, at least 2 lives I know of. If people want to catch later tonight, I think Rev is having a live at 7. I think, and then Nick and Nick, if you're still in here, thank you for coming in too. And Nick is also having a live, I think, at 7 o'clock, also, from my understanding. So we will see you later. Have a good night, and hug your cat and love your kitties. Night, night.